Welcome to NTV at 1, the latest and most comprehensive update of news making headlines across the country and across the world. And we start with the matter of gambling. Now, Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i has stated that the battle to control illegal gambling will not lose steam, even as he sent a warning to the companies that have no licenses yet. Matiang'i was at the NPS Training School A at Amboko, where 24,000 AP officers were being handed over to the Kenya Police Service. Leila Mohammed was there and now joins us live from our newsroom with a brief. Leila.
Well, Julians, the CS was not mincing his words when he was sending that stern warning to gambling entities across the country. Remember, this discussion about gambling has been in the headlines for the last 1 week, with betting companies being on the radar of the Interior Ministry. But then again, the small gamblers, the ones that have the betting stalls with them across the country. You remember last year there was a big campaign to burn those boxes where they're saying they were not licenses. So this is a bit of what the CS was saying earlier during that meeting.
Including gambling in some cases, and people who do not have licenses. We have discussed this matter with the IG, and we have agreed any of these people operating, especially the regional commanders and the county commanders, and one of these people operating in a jurisdiction should show you alliances from the board. If they do not have alliances, they're actually engaged in crime, and you know how to serve people who are engaged in crime. Serve them as criminals are supposed to be served. Get a hold of them and let them meet with the law so that we create an orderly environment, as it were.
Well, both the IG and the CS have said that 24,000 members from the Administration Police Unit will move to the Kenya Police Service and undertake general duties. But a key will be the area of the North Rift, which has been hit hard in terms of cattle rustling across that region. Remember, the entire Turkana, Baringo, as well as West Pokot has been hit, Elgeyo Marakwet as well. So according to the CS, they say there will be no vacuum that will be left behind, but then he says cattle rustling will be their main agenda. Listen in.
All of us to take this integration positive and praise the interest of the Kenyans whom we are serving. This transfer of officers from one service to another will not create any vacuum. Arrangements have been made to ensure all seamless transition so as not to create insecurity breach. Law and order will not in any way be compromised. And deployment of suitable ward police commanders, famously known as OCSs.
The change we are going to witness is our deployment and focus on the North Rift of our country and the perennial problem of cattle rustling. We are going to increase the numbers, we are going to deploy more, and we have agreed with Gabo, the DIG in charge of AP, that we are on course to stamp out this madness about cattle rustling in this country once and for all.
Well, the last issue that was talked about was to gun owners in the country, and this is the last stern warning from the CS.
If you are not licensed to hold a firearm, you should not hold one. We provided an opportunity for vetting to happen. I cannot understand why you think maybe you are so important you cannot go for vetting so that we verify your licenses. So IG proceed, get the whole lot of them, whether they are leaders. Let us treat everyone equally in this case. And then we continue to insist, if you are holding a firearm, you know you should not hold. Surrender it to the police station nearest to you, or alternatively, my brothers and sisters in the police service are here. When we meet you, we will serve you as an armed and dangerous criminal.
Well, those are just some of the highlights that took place earlier this morning. Remember, the Reds and the Greens and the Red Berets are now joining into the deep blues, the new police service, the new face. But Matiang'i insists there should be more than just the change of color. There should be a change of attitude and a new police service that will serve and listen to the people of Kenya, whom their main mandate is to protect.
Many thanks, Leila, for that comprehensive update as far as unlicensed gambling goes, as well as cattle rusking in the North Rift, and now the matter of unlicensed gun holders. We'll be keeping tabs on that story just to bring you up to speed on the latest developments. Now, elsewhere, renowned advocate and businessman Karanja Kabage is being laid to rest today in Rongai in the county of Nakuru. The funeral service is currently ongoing, and let's take a listen as to the proceedings therein.
I think we'll close with a short word from Mrs. Joyce Kabage, which will be given on her behalf by Nyokabi Jogona, so that then we go back to the service.
Thank you. Your Excellency, Deputy President, dignitaries, family and friends, hamjamboni. My name is Nyokabi and I'm a friend of the family for over 30 years. We fondly love each other. And I'm going to speak for Joyce. She has asked me to speak to Babaku. The name Babaku came from the song Daddy Cool. Who remembers that song? And so their daughter Wamboi would be listening to that song and looking at the mom and the dad, and she would be saying, Mommy Cool, Daddy Cool. So they tenderly called each other Mommy Cool, and she never thought it was cool, she just thought it was cool. So they tenderly called each other Mama Cool and Baba Cool. So I'll read to Baba Cool. Baba Cool, you have been a darling husband to me, both in life and in death. You have been an ideal husband from the onset. You took leadership and became our pillar and our cover. You have been a consistent force.
And as from Nakuru, we condole with the family of the late Karanja Kabage and may his soul rest in peace. Now, elsewhere, Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i has dismissed claims of the split, saying that the Cabinet Secretaries continue to work together, realizing the Jubilee agenda. Transport and Infrastructure Cabinet Secretary James Masharia backed his Interior counterpart, saying that CSs will continue to hold development meetings to forge the way forward on development. The two CSs were speaking during the burial of ICT CS Joy Musheru's grandmother at the PCA Kirishu Church in Nyeri. NTV's Melita Oletenges joins us live with an update.
Thank you so much. We're coming to you from Kirichu, as you say. This is in Nyeri County, where the burial service for the grandmother of ICT CS Joe Musheru is currently ongoing. And as you put it, is yes, indeed, the Cabinet Secretary for Interior, Fred Matiang'i, has dismissed claims of a split in cabinet. Remember, this comes at a time when people or different proponents from different quarters have assumed that there is indeed a split in cabinet following allegations of an assassination plot against the Deputy President William Ruto, which saw 3 CSs being questioned by the DCI, and this has also mounted pressure on the leaders regarding the structure of the Cabinet Secretary, saying that if the cabinet has wrangles in between, then they're saying that the president should reconstitute the cabinet. We had this from Aldas MP Adan Kinan earlier in the week. Now also the CS for Transport and Infrastructure, James Masharia, said that some of the cabinet secretaries will continue to hold meetings to forge a way forward on development agendas across the country. And his exact words were that there are fellowships that the CS for ICT, Joe Musheru, and CS for Interior, Fred Matiang'i, engage in, and these meetings will continue provided they are going to engage or discuss development agenda here in Nyeri and across the country. Well, these are some of the things that have been spoken about in this gathering here, the service. And also one thing to note is also we've had the Senator for Elgeyo Marakwet, Kipchumba Murkomen, who also attended the service, saying that rallying for unity of leaders across the divide, saying that if only leaders were united, there would be no back and forth, there would be no stalling in development agendas. And this is a call to leaders in the Jubilee Party and leaders across the divide, saying that leaders should come together and just create a sense of unity in order to realize the Jubilee agenda across the country. That is all from Kirichu. Over to you in studio.
Many thanks, Melita Oletenges, for that update, and we will be keeping tabs with that story just to ensure that we keep on updating you in terms of the developments on that. Elsewhere in the county government of Kakamega now, the government has just rolled out a program focusing on youth and youth employment opportunities, just to try and see how it can create opportunities for the youth to plug in and to ensure that they get some income generating opportunities. And our reporter, Zacchaeus Mosame, is on the ground. Zacchaeus, if you can hear me, what are some of the updates you can give us on that? I'm told that we cannot get Zacchaeus Mosame as of now, but that story is something we'll be keeping our eyes on in terms of focusing on the employment opportunities being created. This has been a discussion ongoing across the country in terms of how the government can create ample opportunities and facilitate the private sector development, just to ensure that we are keeping our youth engaged in terms of income generation, so that we address some of the challenges we have in terms of crime, as well as ensuring that we have a productive labor force, just to bring us back on track with that. And now I'm told Zacchaeus Mosame is on the line. Zacchaeus, if you can hear me, what are the latest updates on this front?
Thank you so much. We are coming to you live from the Bohongo Stadium here in Kakamega County. Like you rightfully mentioned, this is an exercise where over 3,000 graduates from the Kazi Mashinani program, initiated by the Kakamega Governor, Wycliffe Ambetsa Karanja, to just benefit the youth and women in the society, is undergoing. This is an event that's being attended by over 7 governors. The guest of honor for this particular event is Muranga Governor Mwangi wa Iria. Now, these graduates have been in training for over 6 months, and now this is just the D-Day for them to come out. Remember, they'll be expected to work to help the county government in various issues. They'll be working from morning to around midday, then they'll be joining various polytechnics from this area to train in different skills. This is an equivalent of the NYS program that's run by the national government, that has been started by the governor of this particular county, who says this is going to also help to bring and close the gap of unemployment among the youth. It's a program that's going to run for 2 years, and the beneficiaries will be expected to be doing various jobs. Also, this particular event is expected to be a podium for the governors also to push the national government for the allocation. Remember, we have had a tussle, and therefore they have already said they're going to go to court to fight for that particular thing. So therefore, this is an event that we are going to keep an eye to just look at how things are going to unfold. Back to you.
And many thanks, Zacchaeus, for that update on what sounds like a devolved version of the National Youth Service across the county government of Kakamega. And that's an interesting story we'll be focusing on, just to keep tabs on it. Elsewhere, a hardcore criminal in Limuru accused of threatening residents with guns and knives has been arraigned. Run Underlay Justice Nzioka is accused of being in the ringleader of a notorious gang said to have been causing unrest and tension among the residents of Kwambira, Kentemere and Red Hill areas in Limuru. Nzioka, who denied the charges, will be detained for 5 days pending investigations, given that the prosecution intends to speed up the case. Now, resident magistrate Evelyn Olwade ordered that the case be heard on the 16th of this month. And elsewhere, leaders from Luo Nyanza insist that the arrest and prosecution of individuals implicated in corruption will help to serve as a lesson for others. The leaders further called on President Uhuru Kenyatta to not just talk, but also act firmly on corruption.
I want the president with his agencies to refocus again on Kimwarer Dam and Aror Dam, so that those who stole, who know themselves, and are keeping those money in their houses are arrested. I want to ask the head of state, don't be blackmailed, focus on your legacy.
We will work on any amendments on the constitution that are necessary with or without you. We will deal with anybody who steals anything. Hello?
President must learn not to undermine the head of state. Me, I want to say without a fear of contradiction. Ruto must also realize that Uhuru Kenyatta is the President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces.
The Building of Bridges initiative is within the manifesto and the constitution of the Jubilee Party.
And staying with matters politics, in light of the heightened political temperatures across the country, a group of widows, most of whom bore the brunt of the 2007 post-election violence, have called on politicians to tone down their inflammatory remarks, saying it was not only not healthy for the country's stability. They argue that the trend may lead to more unwarranted deaths. Our reporter Gabriel Kudaka has the details.
The tunes of women chorused by similar circumstance. Women who years ago sang dirges after their husbands passed on. Some of them lost their spouses in the 2007 and 2008 post-election violence.
Na ile kitu iko, usijihurumie. Mjane wote usijihurumie tafadhali.
Their circumstance has raised their concern and sensitivity over the current high political temperatures.
Walete upendo pamoja, tuache kuwa kama tumetengana. Ati sisi ni watu wa tangatanga, ati sisi sijui ni watu wakieleweke, na sisi wajane vile kirasi ikiingia tunakuwa wengi zaidi.
Hatutaki mambo ile ya 2007 na 2008, tuliathirika sana. Na kwa vile hayo kila mali watu wetu walikufa ya upande wa kwetu na upande hii.
Tunataka kuwakumbusha hata serikali yetu ya Jubilee kwamba walisema miaka 100 hakuna mtu atakayeonyesha mwenzake kidole.
The women meet at Kamuyu Pefa Church in Band Forest region within Uasin Gishu County as they undergo a mentorship program put together by an organization known as Gracious. As the women get empowered with self-reliance skills, those from Gracious Widows gifted others with clothes and shoes.
Nimekuja kugundua sio wamama tu wajane. Mkiangalia nyuma kuna wazee wajane. Hata na hawa wazee wajane wawe wakishughulikiwa.
Gabriel Kudaka, NTV.
And on to matters agriculture, some leaders and farmers in the North Rift have asked the national government to stop its plan to import 12.5 million bags of maize, which the state says seeks to avert the effects of acute shortage of the staple. The farmers, led by NDB's Member of Parliament Robert Pukose, say the move will saturate the local market to their disadvantage since the importation will coincide with the harvest of the crop in the country.
Nini serikali ya Jubilee inaongoja tu wakati wakulima wanataka kuanza kufuna mahindi na wanaanza kupanga mipango ya kuleta mahindi kutoka nje ili waweze kuharibu bei.
Mambo ya mahindi kwa hakika wakati huu ni wakati mbaya kwa sababu mahindi imeiva. Si ndio hata hii imeiva. Kufikia 2 weeks coming tutafuna mahindi. Na tulitaka hii masto yetu ambaye tuko naye hapa Trans Nzoia na Bonde la Ufa yote iwe clean, alafu tuingize mahindi yetu hii ambaye imeiva.
By the time tunafuna hiyo chakula ya mahindi yenye itakuwa imehakishwa kutoka nje itakuwa imefika. Na the fisher circle ya sisi kukosa mahali pa kuuza chakula yetu itaendelea. I think this is something that we want to resist kama watu ya Trans Nzoia na watu ya North Rift ambao tunapanda mahindi.
And moving on, Kenyans will have to bear the burden of a higher cost of living with the prices of fuel set to increase as the Kenya Revenue Authority moves to effect a 5.15% annual inflation tax adjustment on excise duty charged on a number of products. The tax levied on manufactured goods will see a spike in the prices of petrol, spirits, and even residual fuel oils. In a Gazette notice published yesterday, the taxman increased the price of premium petrol, aviation spirit and spirit-type jet fuel by 1,024 shillings from the current 19,800 shillings to 20,900 shillings. Other products are said to be affected include paraffin and various types of gas fuels. The Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the French Chamber of Commerce in Kenya have signed a memorandum of understanding which will solidify the long-term trade cooperation between the two countries. KNCCI President Richard Ngatia lauded the partnership, terming it as a historic moment which will enable the local business community to access the market in France. The move will see increased opportunities for industrialists in both countries, especially those related to agriculture. The two parties have cited having enjoyed friendly relations with about 120 French companies having established business in Kenya since 2012, with 800 others directly exporting to Kenya.
I hope a long-term cooperation to the benefit of our both mutual members and in order to develop their business both in Kenya and in France.
This partnership is going to go a long way in terms of helping Kenya business community access markets, one in France, which is a major concern here in Kenya, two within the European Union.
And on to matters industry, steel manufacturing company Safal Group has launched the third edition of the annual Eye in the Wild photography competition under the theme Every Drop Counts. Every year, one element of the ecosystem is selected to inspire the theme, with the element of this year's campaigning being water conservation. The campaign is in line with Safal Group's commitment to environmental conservation by sensitizing citizens to embrace conservation through a photography competition around issues relating to the environment and finding sustainable solutions to them. The competition will run until 31st of August across Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania.
And I would encourage you all to try and to participate in competitions. It is very addictive in a positive way. To start photographing, you need a basic DSLR and a couple of lenses. Both new and second-hand equipment is now available at good prices in Kenya. There are many courses available both online and on YouTube.
And on that note, we switch gears to matters sport, and Brian Otwal is in studio to give us the latest on the matters of sport. Brian.
Thank you so much, Julians. Let's play. And the latest in sports is Kenya will face Senegal in the semi-finals of the African Nations Championship on Saturday after topping Pool B with a win against Cameroon in their final pool tie. Malkia Strikers came back from 2 sets down to claim a 5-set thriller 3-2 set of 18-25, 16-25, 27-25, 29-27 and 15-12 against champions Cameroon. Cameroon, who finished second in the pool, will face hosts Egypt in the other last 4 encounter, with a slot in Sunday's final at stake for the winners. It was a sweet revenge for the Malkia Strikers under FIVB seconded tactician Shalin Ramdou after losing in straight sets to Cameroon in the last edition in 2017 final. In other results, Senegal beat Morocco 3-0 in Pool A, while Algeria saw off Botswana 3-1 in Group B's other clash. And two-time world half-marathon champion Geoffrey Kamworor will be gunning for the title in the men's 10,000 meters final after failing to defend his title last year when he takes to the track at the ongoing National Police Service Championships at the Kasarani Stadium. Kamworor will be up against defending champion Josephat Bet, Kipsang Temoy, Cleophas Ngetich and Matthew Kishori, among others. Former world champions Janet Jepkosgei and Eunice Sum will battle defending champion Emily Cherotich and Egle Nalianya for the honors in the women's 800 meters. Day one saw African Games 5,000 meters champion Margaret Chelimo being the new National Police Service 10,000 meters champion after stunning defending champion Stacey Ndiwa. And Tunisia reached their first Africa Cup of Nations semi-final since 2004 as they ended Madagascar's fairy tale run with a 3-0 victory. The Carthage Eagles, who will face Senegal in Sunday's last 4 tie, led through Ferjani Sassi's deflected shot from the edge of the box. Youssef Msakani then doubled their lead after Wahbi Khazri's shot was parried by Melvin Adren. Naim Sliti added an injury-time third to cap off an encounter, or a counter-attack as Madagascar sent players forward. Earlier, Algeria reached the semi-finals of the Africa Cup of Nations by beating Ivory Coast 4-3 on penalties following a 1-1 draw after extra time. Algeria are seeking a first AFCON triumph since 1990 and will now meet Nigeria in Cairo on Sunday.
DJ Bash. Every Saturday from 11 a.m. where everything dope happens.
Top spot no mazo tu.
So much football.
It is a chance to enjoy Kenyan football.
Crunch time for the Kenya Sevens rugby team. Why Formula 1?
I'm interested in cars.
The speeds that those cars attain is crazy.
But I'm supposed to be a fan.
Asante sana Kigogo. Karibu, sijapata vizuri sana. Lugha gani hiyo ya Kimayai? But good to see you there.
I realized that I had a problem when I began to attempt suicide.
How was that taken?
Kutolewa mashetani.
She used to cut her arms. I just saw the scars later. It is basically just a coping mechanism.
Sina hopes sasa za kupata transplant.
Without dialysis, a patient who has kidney failure will die. So dialysis is life-saving.
Never ask a couple why you don't have a child. You never know.
You are a victim of being in a relationship with somebody who did not disclose their status.
It happened that I was in Crossroad.
When you talk about treating infertility, the insurance companies will knock you out.
They get used to the needles, they get used to the doctor. You know, I have children walking into my office and the first thing they do is come and hug me.
We are back to Kakamega County where the Kazi Mashinani initiative is just being rolled out. Stay with NTV.
This is NTV.
Sonadol Extra imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli kupambana haraka na maumivu ya kichwa, mwili na hata meno. Sonadol Extra, hakika maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
Whitewash Extra, Kosafi Extra, harufu extra.
Ever since I discovered Whitewash Extra, my family's clothes have been smelling so fresh and leaves my hands so soft. I don't need to buy fabric softeners or detergent anymore. Whitewash Extra is my little secret and I love it.
Jumia Anniversary Sale is live now. Get a 32-inch smart TV at 13,999 and Huawei Wi-Fi Prime 32GB at only 9,999. Sherekea nasi till the 14th of July. Jumia, the online shop you can trust.
I help women find independence by training them in fish farming. It's tough on my back, joints, and can cause headaches. Panadol Extra relieves multiple types of pain. Panadol Extra, now with new Optizorb technology to fight multiple tough pains with 3 times more pain-relieving medicine in the first 30 minutes when you need it most. Seeing them support themselves makes any pain worth it. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Majina poa bana.
Sawa, niko karibu.
Wewe,
David harakisha unatuchelewesha.
Ukiwa na sawa.
Sawa shawa au shawa sawa. Sawa.
Introducing Sour Bathing Soap from Pwani. It's so sour, you'll want to shower for hours.
Tumekimbia hadi huku tumesikia kwa followers wengi. Mbona sasa twende tu wewe?
Ati nasikia Obama amekulike.
Wewe unajua governor. Tupatie namba.
Ati unajuana na Chachi.
Si hata nyinyi Obama anaweza walai. 2022 sisi mami. Wacha chocho. Mzai, pia wewe unaweza ongea na governor. Chachi ile yako hapa hata nyinyi mnaweza mulai. Facebook Katoko ni free na Safaricom. Una dial *544*33# na unaingia. Fantastic. Enjoy Facebook Katoko for free on Kenya's best 4G network. 33#. Governor.
Without your friends, drink Fanta. Taste fun.
Triple refined, zero cholesterol and natural vitamin E. Fresh Fry, always heart friendly. Now it's even more cooking friendly. Fresh Fry, the premium cooking oil for healthy living.
This is NTV.
Kipindi cha burudani ambapo wanaruninga wa NTV walikuwa wamechukua pia nafasi hiyo kuwapasheni wa Kenya na ulimwengu habari za mchana, na sasa hivi wamerudi na tuko moja kwa moja kutoka uwanja huu wa Bukhungu, gatuzi nambari 037 Kakamega. Leo hii tunasherehekea kama gatuzi na kufurahia kufuzu kwa mahafala ambao wanaenda kuchapa kazi mashinani kama vijana wa kaunti na akina mama. Vile vile wamekuwemo watawala wetu wa kijamii ambao wote katika vitengo vyote viwili wameweza kulishwa viapo vya utii na mkuu wa sheria wetu Bwana Moses Lukale Sande. Kwako wewe ambao kwa sasa unafuatilia kwa mara ya kwanza, ni kufahamisha tu kwamba hapa Kakamega leo tumetembelewa na tunafurahia kuwa wenyeji wa magavana ambao wameongoza watu wengi sana, viongozi wengi kutoka maeneo yao ya uongozi kuja kuungana nasi. Kwa hivyo ni kukuambia kwamba kando na mwenyeji gavana wetu wa Kakamega ambaye pia ni mwenyekiti wa baraza la magavana, vile vile mwenyekiti wa Lake Region Economic Block na co-chair National Sugar Task Force Mheshimiwa Wycliffe Ambeto Paranya, tunaye vile vile mdogo wake katika baraza la magavana ambaye ni Mheshimiwa gavana wa gatuzi la Murang'a Mheshimiwa Mwangi wa Iria, na pia tunaye gavana wa gatuzi la Siaya Mheshimiwa Konera Sanga, na tunaye vile vile gavana wa Kericho County Mheshimiwa Profesa Paul Chepkwony. Vile vile tunaye gavana wa gatuzi la Kisumu Mheshimiwa Profesa Peter Anyang' Nyong'o. Hutomsahau gavana ambaye amesafiri kutoka mbali akafika mapema sana Kakamega County, gavana wa gatuzi la Mandera Mheshimiwa Ali Ibrahim Roba ambaye tuko naye hapa. Tunaye vile vile gavana wa gatuzi jirani la Bungoma, Mheshimiwa Daktari Wycliffe Wangamati. Wamo vile vile viongozi katika nyanja tofauti tofauti za serikali ambao tuko nao na watakuwa wakitambulishwa kwetu muda mfupi ujao. Tumewashuhudia vijana wetu na kina mama wakifuzu tayari kwenda kufanya kazi mashinani katika mpango huu, mpango mzuri kabisa, County Youth Service and Women Empowerment, ambapo hapo sasa wataweza kuchapa kazi wakileta mkate mezani na kuendeleza uchumi wa gatuzi letu la Kakamega pamoja na nchi yetu ya Kenya mbele. Nitambue pia kuwepo kwa County Commissioner wetu ambaye ameungana nasi, Madam Dola. Na wanaotembea kwa sasa, maafisa tusaidiane, watu wasitembee sana. Sehemu ifuatayo ni muhimu sana. Kwa maana utaweza kushuhudia, kando na hotuba ambazo viongozi wetu wataweza kutoa hapa, utaweza pia kushuhudia kutiwa sahihi makubaliano ya kufanyia pamoja kazi na urafiki kati ya magatuzi yetu, sana gatuzi la Murang'a na gatuzi la Kakamega. Utaona pia nafasi nzuri ambapo tutakuwa na nafasi ya viongozi wetu kupiga picha. Tutakuwa pia na nafasi ya kuzinduliwa rasmi mwongozo ambao watafuata maafisa wetu waliopita mbele yako siku ya leo wakifuzu kwenda kufanya kazi. Mwongozo huo leo hii utaweza kuzinduliwa rasmi na mgeni wetu wa heshima ambaye ni naibu wa mwenyekiti baraza la magavana nchini, akiwa pia gavana wa gatuzi la Murang'a, Mheshimiwa Mwangi wa Iria. Utaona pia wakati ambapo kutakuwa na nafasi ya kukata keki ya leo, ikiashiria uwiano na ufanyikazi wa pamoja wa magatuzi Kenya. Kwa kifupi, tutaweza kukamilisha kwa wimbo wa taifa na wimbo wa county hapo mwisho kabla ya viongozi wetu kuweza kuondoka na sisi pia kufumukana. Hivi basi, nilivyokuwa nimekuarifu hapo awali, ratiba sasa ni mkabidhi Waziri Robert Kundu Mahanu amwalike naibu wa gavana wetu wa Kakamega, Mheshimiwa Profesa Philip Museve kutima aendeleze kipindi kilichosalia. Kutembea, naomba tuweze kutulia sasa, tuketi ili tufuatilizie hotuba. Mheshimiwa Mahanu, tafadhali.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Kakamega County, and all excellencies today present, and other distinguished guests, and all the wananchi ambao wamealikwa kwa siku ya leo. Sisi kama Wizara ya Social Services, Youth, Sports and Culture tunafuraha ya kwamba leo ni siku njema, leo ni siku kuu kwa sisi kama serikali kufanya pass out ya vijana wetu na wamama ambao karibu 3,000. Kwa hivyo wageni wetu, tunataka kuchukua hii nafasi kualika hapa, na asante sana kwa kupata nafasi kuja kusimama na sisi kama serikali ya Kakamega. Asante sana kwa vijana wetu ambao wamevumilia training for the last almost 1 year, ya kwamba leo ndio kilele cha mafunzo yao, na tunaomba waendelee na kazi yao vile wamechukua kiapo. Kwa hivyo najua leo ni siku kuu, na Your Excellency pamoja na mgeni wako heshima, leo ni siku yako, na mimi nataka kuchukua hii nafasi kama waziri wako kumwalika Deputy gavana wetu wa Kakamega ambaye atachukua hii nafasi pia kualika wale wageni wengine. Tupike makofi tunapomwalika gavana, deputy governor wetu. Makofi ya deputy governor wetu. Asante deputy governor.
The chief guest, Governor Mwangwa area, Governor Muranga, the Governor Kakamega County, Honorable Wycliffe Ambetsa Paranya, governors from the other counties, the senator, the county women rep, members of parliament, members of senate, members of the county assembly, the county commissioner, wakeni wetu wote, hasa wakeni wa kutoka Muranga. I would like to take this opportunity kuambia feel free na mchisikie kama mko nyumbani. Kabla sijasema chochote, nataka kuwatambua wakina ambao wamefika hapa kutoka kwa kaunti ya Kakamega. Wale wakina ambao wametoka mbali, Kakamega ina sub-counties 12 na ina wards 60. Wale elected MCS ni 60, wale nominated in 29, wote wakiwa 89 MCS. Kwa hivyo nataka kutambua wakenya ambao wametoka kwa sub-county za Kakamega tafadhali. Nitaanza nikiita sub-county yako vikelekele tafadhali. Likuyan sub-county. Likuyan wako wapi? Okay, asante sana. Matungu sub-county. Matungu sub-county. Okay, Matungu sub-county wako hapa. Navaholo sub-county. Asante sana. Ikolomani sub-county. Asante. Mumias East sub-county. Huisero sub-county. Asante. Lugari sub-county. Thank you very much. Shinyalu sub-county. Asante. Mumias West sub-county. Mumias West sub-county. Asante. Malava sub-county. Asante. Putere sub-county. Na Lurambi sub-county wenyeji. Na vijana wote wa Kakamega. Nataka kuchukua to recognize wakeni wetu ambao wametoka Muranga. Na kuna wakeni wengine ambao wametoka kwa county zingine ambao wako hapa leo. Nataka, it is my singular honor to take this opportunity to make a few remarks as we proceed with this heroic, historic event here at Bukhungu Stadium. From the number of governors and other invited guests in attendance, not to mention the excitement of wananchi eager to extend their hospitality to the visitors, this is not a small event by any standards. It reminds us of the 5th Devolution Conference and the Mashujaa Day national celebrations that we as a county had the privilege to host in Kakamega last year. We thank you all for making time to join us in celebrating the spirit and the fruits of devolution. our message to you all and the rest of Kenyans is, let us work together to build a more inclusive society, because it is high time we turned around and embraced our neighbors regardless of whether they are rich or poor. Hard work, discipline, integrity, and high ethical standards should define the path we want to take to entrench devolution. The Kakamega County Youth Service and Women Empowerment Program symbolizes our resolve to embrace the youth, women, vulnerable groups in our society so that they may seize available opportunities and lead a better life than before. Please feel at home among your brothers and sisters. The Honorable Governors, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to invite His Excellency, the Governor, Kakamega County, Honorable Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya, to deliver his speech. Thank you very much.
Halo. Wananchi hamjambo wote. Mulembe kandi. Basi nataka nichukue nafasi hii kwanza kwa shukuru wananchi wote ambao wamepata nafasi kuja hapa siku ya leo. Na pia wale wageni wetu ambayo nitawajulisha hivi karibuni kabla niongee machache. Leo watu wa Kakamega tuna bahati kutembelewa na magavana mbalimbali. Karibu magavana 7 wako hapa na senators na wajumbe, na pia serikali kuu ina representation hapa. Ningetaka kwa haraka nimujulishe wale magovernors wako hapa, nikianza na Mheshimiwa Governor Cornes Rasanga, Governor wa Siaya. Ndio huyo. Haya, wa pili ni Governor mwenzangu namesake Wycliffe Wangamati, ambaye pia ni chairman wa Finance and Resource Mobilization Council of Governors, Gavana wa Bungoma. Pia tuna His Excellency Captain Ali Roba, chairman wa ASAL, Council of Governors, Governor Mandera. We have His Excellency Paul Chepkwony, chairman wa Youth and Gender and Sports katika Council of Governors, na pia Governor Kericho. Tuna His Excellency Professor Anyang' Nyong, Vice Chairman wa Afya katika Council of Governors, na pia Governor Kisumu. Tuna His Excellency Mwangi Wairia, huyo ndio Governor Murang'a, our today's chief guest, na pia Vice Chairman wa Council of Governors. Tuna senator wetu Cleofa Malala wa Kakamega County. Tuna nominated Senator Gertrude Musulube, ndio huyo kutoka Kakamega. Tuna nominated Senator Naomi Chionga, ako hapa. Tuna our woman rep Els Muhanda, ako hapa. Tuna wajumbe wa hapa, Bernard Shinali MP wa Ikolomani. Tuna Emmanuel Wangwe MP Nabaholo. Tuna Geoffrey Osoti nominated MP, ako hapa. Lastly, we have County Commissioner Mama Pauline Dola, ako hapo. Huyo ndio County Commissioner wetu wa Kakamega County. Tuna County Commander Bernard Muli, ako hapo, na tuna representative wa Regional Commander Patrick Wambane, ndio huyo. Haya, hao ndio watu wetu ambao wamekuja hapa, na pia tuna speaker wa County Assembly ya Kakamega Bwana Morris Buluma, na tuna County Assembly ya Kakamega jumla wako wapi? Ndio hao chungu nzima wako hapa na sisi. Tuna CC mawaziri wa county wako wapi? Ndio hao hapo nyuma. Tuna chief officers, ndio hao wako pale nyuma, na tuna maofisa wote wa serikali wako hapa, nikianza na wa administration yote ya county ya Kakamega iko hapo, ambao wanashikilia sub county, ward na community areas mbalimbali katika county yetu. Na tuna wananchi kwa jumla kutoka Kakamega. Simuko hapa? Wananchi mna furaha? Sawa sawa. Bas, kabla niongee machache, ningeomba kwa haraka kabisa nipe nafasi wenzangu kusema tu jambo, alafu waketi. Nikianza na His Excellency Colonel Rasanga.
Jambo. Jambo. Your Excellency, Governor wa Kakamega, Wycliffe Ambassa Oparanya, my fellow governors who have accompanied us here today, the senators who are here, members of parliament, MCAs, na officers wengine, amjamboni. Mine ni machache tu. I am a neighbor to the south, and what has made me to come here is because nilinusa kama samaki inapikwa hapa ya Obambla. Sasa ndio sababu nimekuja hapa. And I am happy that what I have come to learn and seen with my eyes is a very good thing, and I can promise you, Ambassa, that we are going to replicate the same in Siaya. You know, when you are learning from your fellow colleague, it's a very important thing. I can tell you a story. When I was growing up, before I grew up to be a man, I had a friend of mine that we are growing up with. And because even here in Kakamega, as you grow up, the first house that you build is called Simba, right? So you struggle to build Simba. So we struggled with him. And that Simba was not in our home, it was in his home. And the first mattress that I helped him to make, we had to go and search for sisal, remains of